Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is your latest football transfer news. What a significant day it's been in the transfer window as well. Have Liverpool basically received what would be a hammer blow to their hopes of signing Isak, with Newcastle being turned down by Sesko as it seems he wants to join Manchester United. Newcastle bid last night. Manchester United have bid today. Manchester United only bid when a player says they want to go to Manchester United. Are Newcastle about to get turned down again? Turned down more times this summer than a thermostat in a heat wave. It ain't looking good for Newcastle. But is it not now looking good for Liverpool? Because Alexander Isak is obviously intrinsically linked to Newcastle bringing in replacements. And as of now, Newcastle have not bought one striker in. Remember, at the start of the summer, Newcastle were trying to get people like Delap and João Pedro to be a supplementary striker to Isak. Isak wants out. There's 4 weeks left in the window. Newcastle have bought nobody. They need to get two through the door. Now, Fabrizio Romano is saying that with regards to Isak and Liverpool, Liverpool won't bid again until Newcastle open the door. And if Newcastle are going to miss out on Sesko, they've effectively spent 3 months of this summer trying to buy strikers, and they've got no one. Absolutely no one. So the chances of Newcastle getting even one through the door, let alone two, before the end of the window, ain't looking good. So Isak is in this situation now where I still believe he'll end up being a Liverpool player. Logically, I really, really do. But Newcastle haven't got any forwards and they can't seem to buy one. And I'd love you to tell me why it is Newcastle get rejected so much. It's incredible. They've been ghosted more times than a ghost on Halloween. But don't know whether that one works. But they have. And I just don't get it. They've got Champions League football. They've got money. They're a massive club. They've got a huge fan base. It's a fantastic ground. Is it because it's the north of England and it's a long way from London? I don't know. They've got rich owners. I genuinely, is it just a bad coincidence run of people? I mean, Alanga's gone there. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I really, really don't know. But yeah, it will have an obvious impact. I do think Isak will end up at Liverpool, by the way, but it's really dependent on where Newcastle go next. I mean, look, they can still get two strikers in quite quickly. There are people like Wizza, Ollie Watkins, Nicholas Jackson, Ramos at PSG. There are other strikers in the market and they can get two of those very quickly. The problem for Newcastle is you could have had Isak and Pedro and you're going to end up with, two from those four maybe. So look, I mean, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that the time runs out, Liverpool back out, Isak stays at Newcastle. I don't think you've got a very happy player there doing that. And I think you've got a fan base that knows he's not particularly happy. I don't know how that impacts on Newcastle. But look, if they can all swallow their pride and get back to what they've got, he's still one of the best strikers in world football, which would be good for Newcastle. And the positive for Newcastle might be, look, if we miss out on Sesko and we keep Isak and he plays well for us, that's probably your ideal situation. But you can't forget what's happened and be interesting to see whether Liverpool would still look to go into the market for somebody else. So I still think he'll end up at Liverpool. I really, really do. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. And look, as I say, Sesko's not a Man United player as of yet, but obviously we've reacted to this on the United stand. I think that when Man United bid, it's because the players said they want to go. And fair play to Newcastle. I don't want to sound condescending, but they have been ambitious. They've just not got many over the road, have they? So let's see what happens with that. We spoke yesterday about Guehi. Newcastle apparently want to go back in the race for that. However, in the last few minutes, Fabrizio Romano has reported that Newcastle are set to approach AC Milan for Malik Thiaw. Talks will follow. But look, is that an alternative to Guehi for Newcastle, who just want to avoid getting rejected again? And look, you can understand that because there's another story coming in from Santi JFM, who's a journalist for that does transfers. Liverpool have made two offers for Guehi and both have been rejected by Palace. They want at least 55 million euros for the defender, who has 1 year left on his contract. I mean, this sort of brings Arsenal into the equation as well. But just talking about that, maybe Newcastle don't want to be in the Guehi race again, because it's getting to the point now where you waste time on a deal where they end up going for somebody else. So maybe Newcastle are now just going to say, look, we're out of that race, because you're just going to choose Liverpool anyway. So, it's interesting. I mean, I do wonder if Newcastle could say, we want Guehi. If you want Isak, let us have Guehi. But Guehi probably says, I don't want Newcastle, I want Liverpool. So that's still very much a centre-back that Liverpool are looking at in these final weeks. And of course, there was a story this morning, I forget who it was from, saying that Crystal Palace are expecting to keep Guehi in Eze. Because the season's just about to start. And we know Arsenal have been looking at Eze as well. So, look, as we move towards the start of the Premier League season, it's very exciting. I mean, it's a week on Friday that we've got Liverpool against Bournemouth. We've got the Community Shield watch along on Sunday. It's just so exciting that the Premier League's coming back. But obviously, we are starting to run out of time with this transfer window. You know, they do move fast, and there are a lot of clubs that are trying to do business in these last few weeks. Chelsea trying to move Nicholas Jackson on, but bring in the likes of Xavi Simons and Garnacho. Arsenal, you feel that they still want to do another deal. Liverpool, as we've mentioned, there is still business that clubs are looking to do in these last few weeks, and I think it's going to hot up even more. So I'll be very interested to see who gets what done. But look, is the Isak deal off? I don't know. And I just want to say as well, the summer transfer window, I like the transfer window because it's transfers, and from getting home from school when I was like 11 years of age and putting CFAX on page 312, people would be like, what's he talking about? If you know, you know. Transfer news, loved it, always loved it. And but some people go missing across the summer. You know, some of the people we'll be talking about when the Premier League starts, they go missing. Certain journalists, certain ex-players, certain media people, they're going to start coming back now, and they're going to start spouting their crap that we react to during the normal season. And I have seen a lot of nonsense about Isak's disrespecting Newcastle, Liverpool of, unsettled Isak. And I just think, grow up. Grow up. Liverpool are the best team in England. I don't like saying that. They want to bring in one of the best strikers in the world to enhance their forward line. Isak is one of those people. Isak has told Newcastle that he wants to go. That's not being unsettled. That's not being disrespectful. This has been happening for time. Alan Shearer went to Blackburn from Blackburn to Newcastle for 15 million. That was a huge amount of money in the 90s. Did Newcastle unsettle him? Probably. Was Shearer disrespectful to Blackburn? Not really. He'd done a good job for them, and then he wanted to go to Newcastle. This is what happens. It's the cycle of football. And as we've said before, are Newcastle disrespectful because they're forcing Wizza out of Brentford when Brentford would like to keep him, and Wizza's now unsettled, saying, I want to go and I'm not going to train and all that crap? No, because Brentford will then go and do it to somebody smaller than them. It's the food chain. We were talking about this on the Football Terrace with Terry this morning about how, if a lion attacks a hyena, do we feel sorry for the hyena? Well, the hyena will go and attack a ferret or whatever else they hunt. And that ferret will go down a hole and kill a mouse. And that mouse will kill a butterfly. And that butterfly will, I don't know, chew on a leaf. The leaves have feelings, but it's a food chain. And we get this sensational claptrap about Liverpool are unsettling Isak, and Isak is disrespecting Newcastle. And I go, not really. And then you get people going, well, he should. Newcastle were the ones who plucked him out of La Liga and made him a great player. So the player had nothing to do with that. The player has got no right to have a career path where he goes, I start off down here, I climb the ladder again, and I climb the ladder again. But actually what I should do to please all these people out there is I should climb the ladder to a certain point and then just go, respect to the club that gave me a chance, I'm going to stay here forever. No, you're going to keep climbing the ladder. And if you basically, if it's like promotions through jobs, isn't it? You outgrow the level you're at, and if the job doesn't grow with you, then you go on to the next step or the next business. It's just business. The question is, will he end up at Liverpool? The clock is ticking, and Liverpool fans will be pissed off that Newcastle didn't get the Sesko deal done, because I think that would have been the door to an Isak deal very, very quickly. So big day in the transfer window. Get your comments in, smash a like on the video. I'll speak to you on the next one, and please do subscribe.